Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It's my final day here in the kingdom before I head back on a flight tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. So I just wanted to debrief sort of the fight card that we've just witnessed. But firstly I wanted to give a quick word out of sort of sympathy towards Taraji, who's one of the fighters that was supposed to fight on the card, but Willie Garcia, his opponent, pulled out, and there was sort of a media scrum with a lot of Japanese journalists talking with Taraji, and he seemed quite visibly upset. And I think it just goes to show like there's a lot of pressure, money, time, effort that goes into a training camp, and then 24 hours to not fight, that must really hurt mentally. And I think Taraji as well was coming off a loss, so this was sort of his opportunity to put things right, and there was a lot of pressure in that regard there. So I think he could feel a little bit hard done by, but also Garcia really can't help the fact that he's ill. I think the area is quite dry here, so, and there was a lot of media, so maybe that played a part. I don't know, but anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. There was also another card as well, another sort of fight that was supposed to happen, and that got called off. Jazza Dickens against Satsumi. I think Satsumi is sustained an injury during training, which then meant Jazza Dickens would have missed out again. This probably would have been his and their sort of biggest fight purses. These Riyadh season cards pay well, right? And this is now fast becoming the pinnacle of the sport, financially at least. So the fact that fighters are getting pulled out of the card means that they're losing out on a lot of money. So just a lot of sympathies go with them. But anyway, let's turn our attention to the fight card that happened yesterday, starting off with Reito Satsumi against Leobardo Quintana. I thought Satsumi sort of maybe started off slow in the opening round. I guess that was understandable, considering they're both sort of it was like a feel out round, and then he just sort of put on the pressure in the second, third and fourth, and just systematically broke Quintana down. These Mexicans, you throw the kitchen sink at them and they're still coming. They're still throwing. They're still coming forward. Still trying to throw punches. They don't give up, and you've got to respect that, because Satsumi had a lot of power behind his punches. In the end, he managed to land a really good right hand. I think it was in the fourth round that sort of rocked Quintana, and then that ended the contest there. But Satsumi's got a very bright future ahead for sure. And then moving on to Tiger Imanaga versus Armando Martinez. Tiger just didn't get going in the opening rounds. He sort of came into it in the fifth and sixth, but then got caught badly. He looked visibly hurt in the eighth round, and in the end, it was maybe a step too far for him. I managed to ask him a question. I'm trying to get the clip so I can show it, but managed to ask him a question after the fight, and he did say that there were some learning curves to be taken from that. I sort of asked him although you lost, I think he's 24 years of age, so he's still relatively, he's only a year older than I am. He can come back for sure. I mean, he showed a lot of heart. Heart getting back up from that fight. But just the volume of punches coming forward, maybe the power. But yeah, I'm sure he can take a lot of positives from that and come back. Because as I said, he showed a lot of heart. And then moving on to the co-main event. Remember, there are only four fights on this show. That main event, co-main event, came in the form of Hunter Nakatani, Sebastian Hernandez. Nakatani was he's been sort of billed as the next Inoue, as maybe as Inoue gets older. I think he's still only 32, 33, so he's got a good couple of years left in the game. But Nakatani is sort of billed as that next, the heir apparent, should I say, to Inoue. Nakatani is 27 years of age. but I thought he struggled a little bit in there with sort of figuring his opponent out, Sebastian Hernandez. And that fight could have gone either way. One other thing that I've noticed about these Mexican fighters is the volume, the barrage of punches that they throw is very impressive. They don't stop throwing, and Sebastian Hernandez didn't stop throwing either. Nakatani showed a lot of heart in there for sure. I think one of the judges gave it, like, it was really wide. It was like 118, 110, and it just, I don't know what fight they were seeing, but it was a lot closer than that. I think the other two judges had it a little bit closer, but yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. But anyway, Nakatani got a win, and then it was up to Inoue to sort of, show what he's about, and boy did he show what he were about. He just the accuracy of the punches. Sitting ringside, you could hear the thud, you could hear the sort of impacts of the fight, or of the punches, and the impact that they were having on Hernandez. Clinical display. Picasso just, he didn't give up, but you could sort of see he's coming a little bit deflated. He's running out of ideas a little bit. And then Inoue, seeing him after the because I was at the press conference after, and then just seeing him come in, he didn't have a blemish on his face. Compare that to Imanaga and Nakatani, who looked like they've been through war. Inoue looked like he'd been through a light sparring session. Looked visibly unfazed, just like he was coming, out of the gym. But yeah, a very impressive fighter is Naoya Inoue. And they both won, Nakatani and Inoue, so we could see a fight, a big super fight next year. Could be one of the best fights of 2026. I would say this though, I do hope that fight takes place in Japan. This fight card was of course held in Saudi, but I think Japanese boxing deserves for that fight to be held over there, and I think it could be huge, absolutely enormous. They can get all these fighters out again on that same card, and maybe get a couple more, and just really sort of push that narrative. I was speaking with Inoue's team as well, very competent team, the guys at Joe Louis. I interviewed them. It's worth watching because they gave an insight into what it's like managing Inoue, and given like Japanese culture, they're very humble, which means they don't do a lot of talking, and maybe perhaps it means that they're not brands might be a little bit hesitant to work with them. So talking to him, it was quite interesting to hear the role that they're playing in his development, and how that they're trying to help him show more of his personality and work with brands that align with him. But anyway, bit of a tangent. But yeah, I just hope a big super fight takes place between Inoue and Nakatani in Japan, because it'll do a lot for boxing. They've both done a lot for Japanese boxing to grow. And is there anything else I wanted to say? Oh yeah, just lastly, like, the feedback on that Eddie Hearn interview was really good, so thank you for watching. Oops, it's a bit windy here. Thank you for watching. But yeah, just the aim with the hook is to just keep interviewing the people behind the scenes, keep giving them a voice, because it's not just like one or two people that make fights happen. There's teams of hundreds of people that make it happen, and I think it's worth shining a light on them and the work that they do. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, the support. We're going to go to more events. We're going to keep interviewing these people, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.